With so much going on in Canada today, you don't have to look too far to find trending news that are rooted in technology. So, from Netflix cracking down on password sharing to Google blocking Canadian news sources to the federal government banning TikTok on government-issued phones, we seem to be at a crossroads for all things tech. To help us navigate through all of these important topics, we have our local tech expert, Kevin Andrews, with us here this morning. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. It seems as if we sort of have a trifecta of tech to talk about this morning.
Yeah, we have lots to get through, so let's get right into it. It would have been, I think, early last week sometime, people sharing their Netflix accounts with others outside their household got a message saying they were being asked to verify their primary location. So it looks like the rumors are true. Netflix cracking down on account sharing, forcing people to pay up. So what do people need to know here?
If you have a Netflix account and have used it in the last few weeks, chances are you got that big message pop up, right? And for people who live in the same location, and for you to sort of verify your location, and so anyone else then logging into that account from any other location will need to pay extra to do so. So as long as you're sort of subscribed to one of their top 2-tier plans. And I believe right now Netflix has 4 streaming plans. One is the basic with ads, which is, I think, $6 a month. Then there's a regular basic for $10, a standard for $16, and then the premium for $20. So I believe, if you wanted to share your Netflix account now with somebody else outside of your house, you can still do so with only the Netflix standard and premium tiers. So for the standard tier of $16, you can only add one other location or person to that particular type of plan. And for the top tier, the premium plan of $20 a month, you can add 2 other locations or 2 other people. So that all adds up. So if you wanted to share your account out with 2 other people at 2 different locations using the top tier plan, that's going to cost you over $36 a month. That's a far cry from the tweet Netflix posted back in 2017 promoting account sharing, where they were sort of behind. And when they posted it, they said, love is sharing your password. And for the top tier plan at that time was around, I believe, $10 a month. Certainly things have changed. High inflation and interest rates are really forcing people to make tough choices where they want to spend their money. People across the country now may be having difficult conversations with friends and family members about whether they're able and willing to spend that extra $100 a year to allow them to sort of use their account. Most people are complaining, saying that this doesn't feel like the kind of company who cares about their customers would do. People are saying that it's more like a company who is looking to make more money and to sort of boost their profits. Apple TV Plus now and Paramount Plus and Crave and Disney Plus and many other streaming services. Netflix did admit that it was looking for more cash, and in a statement, the company says globally over 100 million households now are sharing accounts, which is sort of impacting their ability to invest in film and TV. As you said at the beginning, it looks as if they're cracking down on account sharing with Canada, with New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain first. They did implement similar restrictions in the U.S. a little while ago, but backed down when they faced all kinds of backlash. So the thing is now, time will tell.
Now on to Google, blocking some Canadian users from viewing news content in what the company says is a test run of a potential response to the Liberal government's online news bill called C-18. So, Kevin, what is this bill and what can it mean for Canadians?
If you tried searching for certain news content sometime this week and came up empty, it's not a glitch. This bill, C-18, would force the world's biggest media and tech companies like Google and Facebook to pay Canadian news organizations for every link back to the news site. Now, the Parliamentary Budget Office estimates that this could transfer nearly $300 million per year from the tech companies to Canadian news organizations. Looking into it, it's about 3/4 of that would go to broadcasters. A lot of people are saying, do they need to do that? And I think Google is saying the same thing. As a warning, it's saying it's engaging in a 5-week-long test in which 4% of Canadian users will see access to Canadian news sites limited, which means if you search for a news site on Google and your search results could be getting blocked without you even knowing. Now, although Google didn't provide any details on how these 4% of users are chosen or which news sites are affected, the government says, though, it will not be swayed. And on the other end, Google says it won't be either. Chris Brittle, the Heritage Minister's parliamentary secretary, said that they just want Google and Facebook to pay up their fair share of journalists. This is just not about Canadian operations. I would think it's worried about copycat legislation in other countries, and that would affect Google's bottom line here.
Finally, Kevin, Ottawa jumping on the bandwagon by following the U.S., the EU, and banning social media app TikTok on federal employees' devices. So what do you know about this move? What does it mean for our security?
Well, I'm sure this move follows long-standing data security concerns around TikTok's Chinese parent company called ByteDance and whether it could be compelled to share information with China's government. Now, in a statement Monday, President of Treasury Board, Mona Fortier, said that Canada's Chief Information Officer determined that the app presented an unacceptable level of risk of privacy and security, but added they don't really have any evidence yet to show that they've been compromised. So Mr. Singh, NDP's leader, has nearly 1 million followers on TikTok, and he said that he'd deactivate his account by the end of yesterday and sort of reevaluate that status at a later time. Last year, the Canadian government spent millions on advertising on social media, whether it was Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. You know, this move sort of to ban TikTok comes at a broader geopolitical movement where leaked security intelligence documents accused China of interfering in Canada's elections. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland recently raised national security concerns about a Toronto bank with ties to China. So there might be more that we don't really know about that is motivating our government to take these steps. I think with that in mind, many security experts are perplexed, but I think very cautious of how we should move forward here.
Should everyone else maybe consider removing the TikTok app off their phones if governments are implementing this ban?
That's to be determined. I still use it for now. Since the government has not provided any substantial evidence that TikTok is an issue, I would use it with caution. Be mindful of each app's, like you mentioned earlier, privacy policy. You might want to turn off the ability for TikTok to determine your location. Maybe be mindful of videos you watch, what you're liking and sharing, knowing that TikTok or really any other social media app, for that matter, does track your behaviors from within the app. Good rule of thumb I tell everybody is to sort of take care of your digital footprint in any way possible with any app you interact with.
Our local tech expert, Kevin Andrews, you leave us with lots to think about this morning. Thank you for this.
Thanks, man.